Alright, we're 0-1, and we currently have another awkward hand. So, obviously with the second land, this hand would be pretty reasonable, since we could go Obscuring Aether and Deathmiss Raptor, and then we'd be able to do any number of things with Commune the Gods and Satyr Wayfinder, but since we only have one land, sadly, I think we have to mulligan. Our opponent mulliganed on the play as well, so it's possible we could keep and try and draw a second land, or maybe even a Springleaf Drum with his Ornithopter, but I'm not going to take that risk. Alright, and here we have the Ensoul Artifact part of the deck going on. So, basically mulligan into a different deck. Temple of Enlightenment, kind of scary if our opponent is playing a control strategy. Heroic is also probably a little scary, but we have Drum, Ornithopter, Ghostfire Blade, so we're kind of going off here. And then we'll see if our opponent can put up any amount of resistance whatsoever. Now we have a random Obscuring Aether. So we can go Aether plus Ensoul Artifact up our Blade. I don't want the Blade to die, though. The Blade is great. I kind of want to just play Reef and Ensoul up the Drum. And that means we still have Obscuring Aether plus Ghostfire Blade later. It's possible I should just play the Aether and then Blade up the Ornithopter and attack him for 2. Oh, now we have the Citadel. Womp womp. To be fair, though, I think anything that would kill Springleaf Drum will probably kill the Citadel. Like if he Banishing Lighted or Devouring Lighted or something. I've been playing a bunch of Modern, so I'm like worried about Supreme Verdict and stuff, but clearly that does not exist. So our opponent needs a 4-mana Wrath, which is not possible. So, bang! Game winner. We did it. I think it's safe to assume our opponent is on a control deck and not Heroic, but who actually knows? Opponent could have anything. So I like the extra counter spells and the cruises. And I'm not sure really what to cut. Ensoul Artifact might be kind of bad against Banishing Light and whatnot, but if we cut the Ensouls, the whole artifact package doesn't really make a lot of sense. So I'm going to keep those, I think. The stuff that I'm pretty sure is not great is Elvish Mystic, because I don't think it really matters if we get off to a fast start, and Obscuring Aether is actually much better against a sweeper, since it can stay in play as an enchantment, and then if they sweep the board, then we can like pants it up and, you know, start getting in that way. Elvish Mystic does not seem very great, so we'll do that. I kind of want the Shrapnel Blast as a finisher, especially with the Den Protectors. It seems like a pretty good way to defeat an opponent who has stabilized. Hooting Mandrills turns on the Stubborn Denials. Maybe we just don't need the Aethers at all. We'll just cut kind of the accelerators and keep most of the slow stuff. Could definitely see a world in which Ornithopter is not great also, but that's also most worlds. Alright, this ends okay. Alright, so Esper more or less confirmed with our opponent having a Temple of Deceit to go with all the blue-white manas we saw in Game 1. Stratus Dancer is a pretty nice one. Obscuring Aether would have been pretty good with this hand, I guess. So maybe we should have kept those. Now, I have the question of whether or not I just Ensoul up the Drum. It dies to a lot of stuff, and I can actually play around it with Stubborn Denial later. Could just get like Stratus Dancer out there as a little beater. actually just want to Insole here, I think. I don't want to give my opponent enough time to, like, draw Ojutai, or drop Ojutai, and do all that sort of stuff, because all the, like, mid-rangey stuff I have going on is probably just going to lose to that anyway, so I'll trade this for 5 damage and Hero's Downfall, and then probably play a Death Misraptor. Not sure if I want it face up or face down. Face down means that he's more likely to be scared of a Den Protector and just kill it right away, which is not the worst thing, because then Stratus Dancer can bring it back. Plus, if we manage to flip it face up, then we have our Stubborn Denial online. So, I guess one thing I didn't really think about was that, like, if we just throw our Insole away, we don't have Stubborn Denial, really. I mean, we still have the Force Spike, which is actually pretty reasonable against a deck as slow as this. We definitely don't want to lose to Ojutai, but the way things are going, it kind of seems like that's just going to happen. Kind of just want to wait on this a turn. So I guess we Wayfinder, even though it means that we're really not doing a whole lot this turn. Perhaps finding more Death Misraptors, but we failed miserably. We did find the Citadel, so that will be good if we can commune into an Insole artifact or something. But if our opponent plays Ojutai, we're in big trouble. Thankfully, just has another ETB tap land. Hey. Hey. Yeah. Sit down. So we lead with Stratus Dancer. Thankfully drew a Den Protector, so we have a lot of gas. So Bile Blights can get countered. And then we are going to bring this back face down. And since we have 6 mana, next turn we can flip it and have Stubborn Denial, which would be pretty nice. We're walking into a Crux here, but that's okay since we have Den Protector still. And then we can get back in Soul Artifact, Pants Up our Citadel. Just kind of go to town. If our opponent does not play anything, I feel like we should probably just flip this, but looks like something's coming. Main phase Dig. It's pretty smart. Play around my counterspell. Maybe we can set up Crux plus Silumgar Scorn, revealing a dragon. So I think this turn we just attack for 8. Ooh. Ooh. Now we just attack for 6. And I guess we play Den Protector too. So we're going to be able to stroke something and then have Force Spike mana in case he has like Crux plus Scorn. So there's Ojutai. We can counter that. And that's it. Bingo bango. Yeah, this is kind of what I imagine the control deck's playing out like, where we just function like a fish deck, and it's pretty tough for them to actually win. So we are on the board. We have 1 win and 1 loss. So the deck is certainly cool. I like a lot of the stuff that's going on. I do feel like it could use some tuning, though. I think that's certainly the case, but I do like a lot of this action. Like I like a lot of the graveyard stuff with the morph package. I like a lot of the counter spells, and then the artifact stuff. Like it makes your morphs better, but maybe like it does seem kind of unnecessary. But like still operating with like a pretty low land count is actually kind of nice too. So I don't know. Maybe the artifact stuff is worth keeping, and there's also the case of Insole just being like really really good against the beatdown deck. So who knows? We'll need to play some more matches and get some ideas.